It's so cool because it's so wide.
Yes. And it makes us so connected all together. You know, it's, I mean, it's so the oneness instead of all the separation. I would be very difficult giving love into the world, but that went as natural as the other way around. So beautiful.
Welcome to today's offering. We are in week 1, and our theme for today is on peace. And our focus, our kriya, would be the Tonglen Breath work. My name is Leah. Hello. And I am from Shift&Heal.com. During our last meeting, we did the 3 different types of breath, and these breaths, it can be 3 breaths exactly. It can be expanded into having more than 3 breaths depending on the time that you have. And I invite you to just take these 3 wonderful breaths with me just to check in with ourselves and to check in with our space that we have now. So let's do a long, slow, deep breath in and release everything that needs to go for right now. Let's do the second breath. Long, slow, deep breath in, checking in our mind, checking in our body, and long, deep breath out. And for our third breath, we will really focus on the purpose. Why are we here today? How will I go into this space right now with a long, slow, deep breath in, really putting that purpose in my heart, in our hearts, and slowly release it out. Right now we're going to do a meditation just to get ready, because we're going to do a lot of transforming unwanted energy to wanted energy. So it is not an easy task to do. It's one of the hardest tasks I've ever done.
Can you say that again, Leah? From what for an energy? From
like negative energy to positive energy.
Okay.
From what you don't want to be to what you want to be and feeling.
Okay.
And I framed it into unwanted energy.
Oh, unwanted. Yeah.
Perfect.
We all have different things that we don't like, and something that I don't like, other people might be totally okay with it. So I like it because it's so neutral. It's not like good or bad or anything like that. So I think I like calling it that now. It's like the non-attachment piece.
It's very clear.
The unwanted to wanted energy.
So can I ask something others technical? I mean, I understand that you say unwanted energy to wanted energy, but since this is a group thing, do you think then that what it is something that accounts for all 3 of us? Or is it a personal energy transforming to a personal positive energy? Okay, cool.
And then the group piece will be, if you experience it from someone, how would you transform that in yourself? That's the magic.
Okay. Cool.
So I invite you to gently close your eyes. This is a meditation titled Our Power to Heal and Repair, and I got it from David G. He's such a great teacher. I love him. Okay, today we will be learning to transform unwanted energy from this meditation. I believe, especially as women, we have this powerful energy. We create and transform, from making beautiful art to cooking to writing to working outside of the home to even growing babies. Our bodies are so magnificent and wonderful. We can do all this. If at any time you feel that the energy is too strong or too uncomfortable for you, please do not hesitate to open your eyes, focus on something pleasant outside of yourself, and do what you need to take care of yourself. So, anything you need for this meditation, if you have the space, but you do feel uncomfortable, you can try calling in the universe, the divine, your spiritual guides, or your higher self to help you in transmuting this unwanted energy. This has never ever failed to shift me out of whatever I need to feel. So we're really gonna feel all those unwanted energy that we have today. So please be very gentle with yourself. Don't think of something that you know that would be too heavy for a group practice, because we won't have a space for that. But just be uh, brave enough, I guess. We're a safe enough group. We're brave, but this is just a safe enough space for now because we are online. All right, as we sit comfortably or lie down, if you wish, together, let's take a long, slow, deep breath in and gently let that go. Continue to follow your breath in and out. As you witness your breath moving in and out, allow your shoulders to relax. Feel your mind start to slow. Let's settle in. Let's surrender to the power of our own healing, the power of the word, the power of our thought, the power of meaning we have given things, the power they have over us, and the power we have over them. We are the masters of each moment. We can turn the tides of all vibrations coming at us. We can shift the direction of energy moving through us. We can release our grip of attachment. We can reach for new expressions to hold on to. We can open our hearts to soothing, and we can let go of the darkness. We have the power to heal. We have the power to repair. We have the power to shift our lives where they are to where we'd like them to be. So right now, let's drift our attention to a physical or emotional pain. If it's embedded in your body right now, try to focus on it as gently as you can. Maybe it's in your joint, maybe in your belly, maybe in your chest, or maybe in your throat, or your temples, or maybe it's a weight in your heart. Let's go there now and let's find a pain. Let's see the pain. And feel free to use your fingers and touch the pain. And now, ever so gently, breathe into it through your nose. Breathe right into that pain point. Allow the healing breath to move to the space you are touching. Feel it begin to soften and ease that discomfort. As you breathe out, release some of the sharpness of the pain. Let's do that again and breathe in some restorative, awakening energy. And as we exhale, Continue to release some of the darkness. Let's surrender to this healing, transformative process for a few moments as we use it to wash the painful stains from ourselves. We'll stay here for a couple of minutes and then I will ring the bell. I really, really love that meditation. It's done wonders with just the checking in and just taking the time to breathe into it, see it. So thank you for. So I thought it would be a little bit easier if I gave like a structure to how we're gonna do this next week. And so I put this Kriya format, and so it became it. Originally, it was 3 P's with peace, present, and purpose, and today is peace. And then I added protection at the end because it was something that I've been using every day. And I thought maybe others will also have a use for this tool. So these are tools in our life toolbox of mindful connection. So we can do it first by just reflecting on the breath work or the meditation. And then the second part would be, of course, to practice it first with ourselves and then with other people.
Nice.
So just a review of the 3 breaths. We first breathe for peace or calmness. The second breath is for present, checking in our mind and our body. And our third breath is just checking in with our purpose. So I find this really, really useful for transitions of checking in, checking out, especially with life today. It's so quick. Like you have to do one meeting to the next one or go home and do something. And it just gives me like this 3 breaths of pausing and just checking in and checking out.
I really loved it. I already did it this week because you talked about it last week already. You know, many times I was just like, oh, let's just sit and come back to, you know, to the breath and how my body, this quick body scan. And then I love it. It's a really nice tool.
Thanks, Wilma. I kind of really wanted to do yoga or meditation outside with some of the things I experienced, but of course we can't do that. And so when I learned this like tool, I'm like, this is a life changer. And then whatever I need to process, at least I have awareness of it now. And then I just do it in my practice, whatever I need to work on with. And so you can practice the 3 breaths to check in with yourself. But what we didn't discuss the last week is this, you can also do it with a group or a person you're wanting to connect with. So you can check in how they are, check in yourself first for peace. And then with the other person, check in if that person resonates with you enough that you want to connect with them. So that's the peace part. The second part is just a check-in of like what their interest is, maybe what they like, what you can connect with them with, which I know you guys are like the best in this one. And then the third part is the purpose. So you can set the intention if you want to connect with this person. Do I want to just get to know this new person? Or if it's someone you already know, do you want to just connect with them more? So it's all up to you, the purpose. And so today we will be practicing really the Tonglen breath. It's a very, very, very old breath work. It's a Tibetan breath work passed down. The lineage is from Pema Chodron to Rinpoche, And so that's how it came to the West, and that's how I found it from their work. And so I would just like to honor them for bringing it here.
Love her books.
They're so great. So Tonglen meditation is very much visualization and breath focus, and is used to transform negative energy into positive, or I really like to call it unwanted energy to wanted energy. And so with each in-breath during the practice, we just visualize taking in the pain and the suffering of others. And with each exhalation, we send relief and healing light and love to those people so they can find peace. And so this is why the theme of this week is peace. So let's try it out. Just please make it as safe as you need it to be, because taking in other suffering, it's not a small thing. It's very, very hard, especially if this is the first thing that you're going to try something like this. So just be very, very gentle. Let's try it with the first one. We will do an inhale. So when we do this inhale with the first one, you can think of a person, maybe a neutral person who you think is suffering, and you kind of want to help them with that suffering. It can be your pet, it can be a child if it's easier, it can be a loved one, someone neutral or easy to do this with, just for the purposes of practice. All right, so let's do one deep breath in, taking in their suffering with a inhale, and just let it go with a exhale. We're now going to move on to the second one, which is the loving kindness on the out breath. We've done this last week. We're just going to send a love and gratitude. It could be everyone, it could be just a specific person. It's up to you. But our inhale for this time would just be a very neutral inhale, no intention, and exhale in the loving kindness. So let's do that with a slow, deep breath in, and loving kindness out, sending all those good vibes and love. Now we will put them together. So if this is your first time, just know that it's not easy. Even Pema Chodron says it's like very hard, and many of her students struggle with this. And so for the full Tonglen breath, we take in the suffering on the in-breath, and then we send loving kindness on the out-breath. Let's take a slow, deep breath in, and release with loving kindness out. Okay. How was that? If it's your first Tonglen breath, if you would like to share. Was it easy? Was it hard? How did you find it? Or what
I have
was
done-
there?
I did it before, so for me, it was okay. Not, I mean, it's not easy, but for me, somebody popped in my mind very easily, and then I could easily give the love also, or the yeah. But
For me, for me is new. It's very new too, because I have a resistance to take in the pain of the outside. I don't have space. But so I practiced it by, instead of taking in, to be aware of the pain of. I don't yeah, I have something against the word take it in. So I did be aware of, and a couple of people came, and then the releasing kindness, it was easy. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. When I read about this, different types of people have different experiences. And like from my experience, it just, I don't want to say it gets easier, but you just know what to expect more because it doesn't really get easier sometimes. It depends on the situation. And
Yeah,
so,
and this for difficult people, it's very difficult, I find.
Mm.
And for self, I find it also very difficult. But for somebody neutral or for something neutral, it's I think it's perfect to start also with that.
so you can just see because it's a breath, you can do it anywhere, everywhere at all. And so it's like I said, these are like tools so you can just get out of your bag or your toolbox. You don't have to do yoga or meditation right there because usually we can't. It's lucky if we can. And so I love that you pointed out, Shimi, that you can do it while you're moving and you're not moving. Like I said, just do it gently, especially if you're starting. But if you're just used to it and it feels kind of okay, my invitation is do a little step up, the next little, climb up. And I'll show you guys later how you can do this with the modifications. So I'll give a little example. You're in a grocery store and you're just doing your own thing, and then you see a mom and her child, and the child is just crying, tears streaming down her face, and the mom looks really angry. And you're like kind of doing your thing, and now you're feeling really uncomfortable, and but you're in the same line as this person and you can't really move. So what do you do? And I think this is like the perfect place to do it. If not for the mom, if you have like, I'm really, really, I love children, so it's easy for me to do that with children, but I know not everyone has the same feeling. So you can do it with both the mom and the child, and you don't even have to like talk to them or do anything. But I assure you 100%, it's like someone looking at you behind you and you turn, they would feel the love just from that breath out, just from your presence. And this is why I love this so much. And so earlier I was just talking about the different modifications that we can do because I really recognize it's like the hardest thing in the world ever. Especially the most difficult people. I could not do it. But I made it into like bite-sized pieces. So I was able to just, pick and choose what works for me at any moment. And so remember last week we did like a breath, an inhale and an exhale between each speaker. So we were actually already doing the Tonglen breath, sending loving gratitude. And I'm sure everyone here felt that, right? And so imagine if we do it, how loving our environment would be, even just like our space, if we do this, even like once a day. And so I'd like to talk about how I kind of came into like the different breaths. I was thinking of this in like the third chakra. I read in this book that and our chakras kind of opens and close because they're like circular. So I think of being safe as our chakras open wider and being unsafe as our chakras closing. And I like using the space metaphor more with our chakras open and closing because we might feel unsafe, but usually when we look around, we are really safe. And so I think just the space of opening and closing fits in this situation more. And so if you are feeling really safe or you're feeling really, really open and you have space, what you can do is you can breathe in and alleviate suffering, breathe out, sending loving kindness. This is like full on Tonglen. If you have the space, you're brave, you can do this. Do this by all means. It's going to make the world so much more better. But on the other end of the spectrum, you're not feeling so good. The invitation is just to breathe in for yourself and then breathe out for yourself. You don't even need to have an intention of breathe in my suffering or breathe in loving kindness. Just breathe in for you and breathe out for you. That's it. That's the modification. Remember, just breathe also, like modify the length of the breath. Make it as long or as short as you want, and then modify with opening and closing your eyes. Even if you're in the grocery store and you see that mom and their kid, if it's too much, just close your eyes. And that itself is like taking care of yourself. And the more space you have for others, the longer you can do the breaths for others as well. Also, I did like an arrow going up, you have more space, going down, not so much space with your second chakra kind of closing. So if you have a little bit more space, what you can do is you can breathe in and alleviate your own suffering. You can also do that, not of other suffering, just whatever you need to feel at this moment. And then breathe out, send loving kindness to others. Or you can do the second one, which is to breathe in loving kindness for yourself and then breathe out loving kindness for others. And another modification that work is just a neutral breath, like I said before, just breathe in and out for yourself. And so if you're ready, we're gonna try it. This is our practice for today. So it's harder as the number. So I made it easy to hard. So we can really ease into the breathing. So if at any time you feel like, oh, this is too much, just continue doing your regular neutral breaths. That's it. All right. Number one, we will do a neutral breath. Are you guys ready? Okay. Long, slow, deep breath in and breathe out. That was easy. Just a neutral breath. Next level, we're going up the stairs. We're going to breathe in loving kindness to ourselves, but this may not be easy for you. So just be gentle if it isn't. Open your eyes so it's not so thick in your feeling, if that would help. And then the out breath is just neutral. Okay, so breathe in loving kindness, love and gratitude to yourself, and a neutral out breath. Gets a little bit challenging, right? Our third one, with our in breath, we will feel our own suffering. Or if you don't, sometimes I don't like the word suffering, but anything unwanted, you can feel that and try to feel it without judgment and with a lot of curiosity, if that would help. And then you breathe out loving kindness to yourself as well. So this is all you in our level 3. If you're ready, breathe in your own unwanted energy, unwanted feelings. Breathe out loving kindness for yourself. Getting a little bit more challenging. So we'll up the notch a little bit. Don't forget to take care of yourself. With our fourth one, we will feel others' suffering or others' unwanted energies. And then we will breathe out loving kindness to ourselves or to others if that is easier. All right. With an in breath, feel other people's suffering. And out breath, loving kindness to yourself or to other people. Our last one, we will do the full Tonglen breath of breathing in other suffering and then breathing out loving kindness for others. And so with a full breath in, feeling slowly other people's unwanted energy, their suffering, and then breathing out loving kindness to others with gratitude. And those are the 5 modifications I've prepared, but how you modify it really is up to you, up to the situation, up to the person you're feeling this with. You can mix and match whatever is easy or hard for you.
It's really well made. There's no, I mean, it's so clear. There's not much to, I mean, we can put it in practice because it's so nicely explained. Yeah.
And that's really my purpose, because if it's clear, you can definitely bring it with you just because of that clarity. Thank you. Oh, so validating.
Yeah. And for example, in this case, I don't have any issues with the word suffering, for example. It could be pain, it could be unwanted state.
Yeah, I liked
Suffering.
it that you said unwanted though, because this also makes it more clear.
And it's also more powerful when you say unwanted, unwanted states or unwanted energies or whatever you want to, whatever word, but that unwanted is giving me power because I don't want it. It reminds me what I don't want instead of what is a burden on me.
Yes.
So
and
it's
it was
very
nice.
different.
Yes. I for the self, this was really, really nice. And also without the judgment, you said somewhere, or you read it there, down there, that was very nice, because then it can just be. Then it's also much easier to have something that you don't want to look at or to experience. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I'm just going to take it on. Oh.
Very well thought. And you've been doing a lot of work, Leah. I mean, you've been doing all this.
Oh my God. So
all
much
by
work.
yourself.
Yay.
I mean, you're creating this.
Queen
Leah. Really.
Yeah,
really.
well done.
Thank you for being here. Just to, it's really hard for me to just show it to people, but you guys are here. So happy.
It is already
we don't
a hit.
notice that, Leah. It's like you've done this for years. No, really. It's. I mean, in the beginning, your voice was a little bit shy, but you go into it. It was really nice. Or it is really nice because it's still very calming. Also,
it's not too like my usual. Is it the right amount of like?
You're never with us.
No.
You're never with us.
No.
I don't know what you
much
meant,
more.
but...
You are very calm. Compared to us, you're very calm.
It's the European.
What is European? Did I say something wrong?
No. It's the real European in us that we are very.
Yes. Yeah, maybe direct and full.
Yeah. It's so cool.
I wonder. Anyway, cool. Very nice.
What a reminder! I can cut this or not. I'm just gonna check it first.
Yes. From now, Leah's first check-in. And then the rest. And then the time is up.
yes, you wanna cut it or not. I'm fine with us being, because it's real. Because
Yeah.
it's
Yes, that's what
real.
I like about it. They're gonna feel it. If someone's watching, they're gonna be like, I like that. I've never done this, and it feels like this. Thank you for giving me permission.
But
Yay!
you
Of
know
course.
always when somebody is also looking at you, you always feel it. So if it's positive energy, somebody must feel it too. Yeah, beautiful.
That's exactly it. Because yesterday I was getting some stuff. We have like food for our floor, and I wasn't even talking to the person. I was just admiring them, and they're like looking at me. So
Cool. Yeah,
yeah,
they feel it.
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Hmm.
They feel
Nice.
it, and I love it because even if we're not talking to them, we're not doing anything, just by the energy of it, our presence, it's doing
Yeah,
that.
but I mean, this is why I like it also so much for the group, because as the group, you feel it too. If you
Mm.
are like having these breaths first and then sending this love to the other person. I really love that, to have that as a structure also for us, maybe in the group. It's nice.
We're gonna have that later when we do our little group
Oh,
sharing.
okay. Yeah.
Get ready with a loving kindness. But my favorite modification of it all also came from Pema Chodron, which is breathing my own unwanted feeling, like whatever is bothering me, because usually what I do is just, shut it down. I'm not gonna feel that today. I have no time for it. So it gives me that time to just breathe in my own unwanted feeling. And then I can breathe out the compassion to those who are feeling exactly the same way. And so I
Beautiful.
thought,
Ah,
wow,
yes.
that was the best. Like, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna invite you guys to practice this with me for just 1 minute, just so you can see how it feels in your body. And then, because I believe when we do it, we can really take it in our toolbox and bring it everywhere just from doing it this one time. And so, wherever you are, when you're ready, you may close your eyes. I'm just going to lead you with the first breath, and then in the next minute or so, you will just be doing this breath. So, for our first in breath, let's breathe in our own unwanted feeling, wherever that may be. For me, it's in my heart. And then breathing out with compassion, with love to every person in the world who is feeling the same exact same thing. And you may just continue with your breath, breathing in with the unwanted feeling and breathing out compassion to everyone else in the world who is feeling this, or if there's a particular person that you can think of, you can do that as well. Whatever you may need to really make this your own practice. On your next breath, whenever you're ready, you may gently open your eyes and just come back to the room. If you need to kind of stretch it out, you may do so. Drink water, because I know it's a practice that, depending on who you choose, it could take a lot, even though it's 1 to 2 minutes. But you're doing great work. You're sending out love just to the world. We're just going to do a little bit of self-reflection. If you have a journal, you can write this down, or you can just pause and think of the answer. Totally up to you. So the first question is, what Tonglen breath or Tonglen breath modification worked best or easiest for you or resonated with you the most?
Do you want to share?
Yes, please, if it's something that you want to do.
Now, see, because it's different with every person. For now, myself, because I haven't been present lovingly with myself, so the one that I loved was to be aware of my unwanted feelings with the in-breath, and to send loving kindness to myself for it. And then once I'm good with that, I like to do the modification, which is one step. Again, connecting to my unwanted feelings, and then send that loving kindness to others that have the same, makes me feel less alone. So.
Yeah, for me, it's what I, from all the things from the beginning until now, what I like best is if you do the one for self and then do the loving kindness for self. So if it's the same, so if I take in like the suffering from everybody to give back to everybody, for me, and then giving back to others, I find for me it's very confusing. So I love it when the in and the out is the same, whatever the in and out is. And I loved also the unwanted feeling in this translation for me, and then to give also the love to me, or the compassion. I enjoyed that also, or enjoyed. I mean, I think it's beautiful.
Thank you for sharing.
For you?
For me, like the last one I did this with, me and my husband were fighting. And so for a weekend, I was doing this.
Wow.
It's the hardest thing ever, but it was the best, because I feel like I shared his suffering. We're like a family unit, so we're like, whatever we have, we share. And so I thought that was like a next level thing that I was able to do from just practicing like the little bits at first. So it led to that. I'm like, wow,
Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah.
that's amazing.
And did he feel it?
Yeah, because we made up. We're okay now.
Yeah. Oh, good. That's cool. No.
I'm sorry, what practice, because I had to take care of some alarm sound. What practice did you do with your husband?
So me and my husband, we have a little bit of like a misunderstanding. And so he wasn't talking to me. I just did like the Tonglen breath with taking in his suffering and sending him loving kindness.
Wow.
And I did that he was mad at me for 2 days. It was the worst 2 days of my life. But I was telling mom it was the best because I felt that like we're a family unit. If I can share something with my husband, this is probably like the best things. So many things came up, even his like stuff from childhood. I feel like I was able to transmute it into like loving kindness. And so that was like the hardest thing. I was saying the hardest thing I've ever done in my whole entire life. But I feel it's the best one. Like I feel like my container has grown from just doing like the mini practices.
Okay, beautiful.
Cool.
Especially when you're upset but you give to him instead of
Yeah,
being
that is
upset.
beautiful if you can do that.
Yeah.
Get out of your own irritation and upset. Yeah, beautiful.
Do you think there will be situations in the future where you can just do something like that? Do a full-on Tonglen breath with someone who's a little more difficult? So is it something that you think you're able to do? Or if that's like a hard thing to think about, like if you can do the Tonglen breath now, the full one, can you think of a person or an animal or like a child or someone neutral that you can do the full Tonglen breath with?
Yeah.
You have one in mind? Oh, great. Because we will hold that future situation in your mind's eye. And now we are actually going to do just the full Tonglen breath, just like a little 1 minute thing, because like this is the original version of it. So it's going to be really hard. But like, I really believe like our spiritual gurus that there is something about this full breath that we can do. Don't do it if you feel uncomfortable enough that it's like too much. Open your eyes. Take care of yourself. Okay. If you're ready, I invite you to close your eyes again to do our full Tonglen breath. Slow, deep breath in, feeling that unwanted energy from others. And then breathing out, just loving energy, energy of gratitude, of joy to others. We're going to do this for a minute or so. And with your last breath out, breathe in some loving kindness for yourself because you did the practice today. And breathe out loving kindness to others who are sharing this practice with you right now. You may gently open your eyes whenever you're ready and come back to the room. How was the full breath? How was your experience with this one?
It's deep.
Yeah.
I went faster, deeper. I went in much faster than before because of the practice that we did before. And it was so like gone, like present. I was just doing
Yes.
right away. I didn't have any it was
Yeah, it was
very
very concentrated. Yeah.
focused and
Yeah.
concentrated. It's interesting.
Yeah. I thought this is another interesting sticker that I can take off, that I would be very difficult giving love into the world, but that went as natural as the other way around. So beautiful. Yeah.
And when you say unwanted feelings, when it's my unwanted feelings, I understand. When we say breathe in the unwanted feelings of others, I got confused. Is it the ones that I don't want them to give me, my unwanted feelings from others? Like, it got a little
I think
confusing.
is it not other people suffering? Like, for
That's what it
example,
is.
I think because well,
Yes,
that's how I interpreted it. You know, like, for example, I know that my mom has a lot of problems physically, and I know she's struggling. So I've tried to feel her struggles.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. What I was
And not
saying is,
yeah.
for me, it's easy to use suffering for others, so
Yeah.
then I can connect with others'
Ah, yes.
suffering
Yeah.
instead of my own suffering. If it's my
Ah,
own, I like to hear my own unwanted feelings. But for others, because it's easier to connect to others' suffering, because they tell you.
I get what you're saying. It's like it helped. Is it that it helped that I gave different definitions? Just also giving that option made it really yours because you can choose one definition
Which
over
one?
the other,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Exactly.
And if one word is confusing, then your next sentence will be clear.
Exactly.
It will make it clear. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. So we know it's sufferings, unwanted feelings, pain. So
Yeah.
it's cool.
And we know it's for other, and if it's our own feelings, then I guess for you it would be also your reactions or your feelings about him that you don't want, that is yours. Yeah.
It's so cool because it's so wide.
Yes. And it makes us so connected all together. You know, it's
Yeah.
I mean, it's so the oneness instead of all the separation.
Wow, I can see this as a daily or every other day or whatever check-in.
Nice.
Yay.
Yes, I have
Okay.
a question. Okay. I have a technical question.
Yes, please.
What does Tonglen mean? Because for me, it has the word tongue in. So it means that you're stirring your tongue or something. So I have always the association with the word.
So that actually I don't know the
Okay,
exact
I
meaning,
don't,
but I
but
know it's Tibetan. I just picked it up Pema Chodron's books, and she has a lot, and she really goes in depth.
There you go. It means giving and taking.
Oh, perfect.